Alright guys, I'm going to do a little Wagon 400 video here. I've had this about a year. I've done a lot of stuff to it just to go from stock to a daily use vehicle. I really like this thing. I bought it because of the Honda motor, because if something goes wrong with it, it's not some Japan piece of crap that I can't find parts for or whatever. It's got the Honda motor on it and I can get another one anywhere I need to. So here's a few things I've done to mine. I got rid of the headlights first thing because the headlights suck on it. I have these yellow headlights on the left and right. Those are the ones that came with it. They suck. They point up into the trees and they are not adjustable. They say they're adjustable. They have screws on the bottom to adjust them, and you can adjust them to a point, but you can't get them where you need them. So what I did was I put two LED lights on the front of mine that I can point anywhere I want, hook them to the same switch, and just use those mainly. I have a store about 4 miles from here that I go and get feed and gas for the mower and stuff like that in, so I'm on the road a lot. But I'm in a very small country setting, so I don't have to worry about. Everybody rides their four-wheelers and ATVs, UTVs on the road. So I put a winch on mine. I didn't do it the functional way that most people do it. I went to Harbor Freight, bought me a little 2500, and then instead of doing your basic front hookup, I welded a piece of rebar straight through and then welded it down here. As soon as I got this thing, I cut some trails through the woods, and the first thing I did crossing a creek was I broke the axle off. So I welded that back on. It pissed me off, but I went back and did a few more welds on some of the stuff that was chinchy. They do manufacture these at a high rate. You know, they try and put them out left and right. So if you do get one, check your welds, make sure everything's good. I use the crap out of this thing. So let's move on to some other stuff I've done. I added some pockets and pouches because I use the crap out of them. I throw my phone in this one here. I've got a utility tool, and then for my winch, I've got my remote for my winch in here. That stays in here constantly. I put a radio in because it was 25 bucks at Walmart. It's a Bluetooth radio, and wired it in direct. I also put in more charging ports, and I got two USBs, and I wired those direct as well. And I still have use of this one for my phone that I just hang over the steering column here. I also put in me a little grass squirrel. But my phone goes in here, and that goes straight over there. I can leave it on the seat, but it usually bounces out. Speaker wise, I put two small speakers down in the front quarters, and then put 6x9s up here in the ceiling. These are standard Walmart 6x9 boxes, but I had to cut them down in order to get them to fit in there. The 6x9s are touching the back, but they're in there. I ran a bolt through the front, and then inside the box, after I removed the speaker, I ran one straight through the box into the wall here, into the support bracket here for the roof. I also put me in an LED dome light because I got sick of being out in the woods and not having any type of way to see my cup holders. Speaking of cup holders, went to AutoZone, bought me a cheap little sideway that goes down in the crack between your seats cup holder. Since everything is right here, I drink Sonic a lot, and my Sonic Route 44 cups will not fit here in reverse. So I had to take it out every time I put it in reverse, so I just set one right next to it and basically ran screws through it to hold it in. So I just screwed it onto the side, and it holds up well. I ran some up top, and then I ran some in the bottom here. Here's my wiring. I basically screwed the bracket to the bottom of the glove box here, and then cut me some slots and ran the Velcro strap around, and holds the radio. It doesn't bounce, no problems. Like I said, I don't have to worry about CD skipping because it doesn't do CDs. It only does Bluetooth or straight radio. As far as antenna, at night, there's some jam real quick. But at night, my when I turn on my headlights, it does affect my antenna. I've moved this around to several different locations, and I can't get the interference to stop, and I don't care enough to deal with it anymore. So I bought me a floppy antenna that sits through this loophole, so when somebody sits in this passenger side, it's not stabbing them. I ran my wires over and out, ran them up behind this gusset here that holds the windshield on, which I've broken because I hit a tree, but zip tied it back together and it's holding up fairly well. Ran up in, straight back to the speakers, and then across, as well as with my dome light. And I'll show you what I did underneath, because the battery that comes on this is really chinchy, and what I did is I put a real battery on it, and I built me a new bracket, and just extended the plate that it sits on, and it's worked out fabulous. I even got it to where it's got nuts up top here, so you can see where I do all my connections, and then I still have more connections for stuff later if I want to add stuff later, and then my regular terminal connections. I ran everything with extension cord, as you can tell. Another thing I did with my lights is I put in an extra switch here. What I was finding out was I'd go to hook up a trailer, go to do something, load something in the back, and I couldn't see anything. So I put me two lights underneath here. One's aimed directly down at my hitch, and then one's aimed out a little bit so I can see what I'm actually hooking up. So if I'm backing up to hook up a trailer, I can see the ball when I get around here, and I can see anything else that may be on the trailer or unloading off the trailer. And I've got these underneath, so when I tilt this bed, it completely misses it. And they're the same lights that are on the front. I got those at Tractor Supply as well. I'm sure you can get them on eBay way cheaper, but I just mounted them in, ran my wire across, and went back up to the battery up there, as you can see. This bed tilts, the lights tilt with it. I hardly ever tilt this thing, so I'm not worried about it, and I'll show you why I hardly ever tilt it. Since I am on the road more, I put more reflectors. It comes with these two little chinchy reflectors here. I got me a bar to go all the way across, because like I said, I am on the road a lot more. I call this my goat. It's not quite a mule, but it's as tough as a goat. But my everyday carry stuff back here, little compressor I can hook up to my battery if I ever get a flat or anything like that. Luckily, I've never had to use it. I've got miscellaneous tools, rags, oil, starting fluid, small socket set in here, full-on socket set, and all kinds of tools in here, just for if I'm out somewhere and need an actual tool. I've got all kinds of stuff in here. Tow rope that I've used many a times, and then some extra gas, because you never know. Got me another latch here, and then I put, my brother-in-law gave me this. It was free, so why not use it? Instead of putting just a regular bolt pin through it, I just bolted it down and locked it, and didn't weld it. I was gonna weld it, and I thought twice about it. If I ever need that out, I don't want to cut it out with a cutting torch. I use this thing more than you'll know. I've got a little trailer over here, garden trailer, that I haul my generator with. I hacked the handle. The handle actually used to come down and around and almost make a triangle, so I hacked that, and then when I bring this down, it sits right in there and pulls. Works perfect. I set my welder in the back of the goat, that little welder over there, and then I pull that and I can go anywhere and weld. So that's what I've done with my Wagon 400. I really love this thing, aside from breaking the axle as soon as I got it. And I will admit, I was hauling ass into that creek, and when I hit it at that angle, it definitely let me know it was there. It probably needs a belt on it, because I've been stuck a few times and I've used the winch and I've gotten into stuff that I knew this thing couldn't handle. But I'm gonna put it through the test and give it hell, because that's what I bought it for. During the winter time, what I've done is instead of getting these enclosed cases and all that stuff and spending $1,000 or $700, what I did was I fold this up, and then at the bottom here I went and got a swimming pool noodle, and I cut it in half all the way lengthwise, and then I slide that noodle in right here, and it sits underneath here, and then I put the other half up here so the wind that's coming in here doesn't come, and it's made a tremendous difference. They're down in my other shop, so I don't have them here, otherwise I'd demonstrate. But this thing's been really good for me, and I can't say that it wasn't worth what I gave for it. I surely wanted a 4-wheel drive, but if I can get a 2-wheel drive with a winch for half the price, and a Honda motor that I can get anywhere and work on it anytime I need to, not take it in for service, why would I? Thanks. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll answer anything I can. I appreciate you watching the video.